Welcome to Giant Radio, where we're all about big ideas in sales and marketing and eye-popping discussions with successful entrepreneurs. Turn up the volume and settle in. Now, here's the founder of Giant Jacks Media and your host, Paul Hitchcock.
Hello. Thank you to my show. And I'm really fired up to jump into this. LinkedIn publishing. There's been some recent changes to LinkedIn publishing, and you're going to want to know about them. It's a great channel to do a lot of really killer things. So let's get ready to jump into LinkedIn publishing. Okay, I'm going to share a slide here because I want you just to be able to follow along a bit. So you get that puppy up here, boom. Okay, so what I want to talk about today, and for those of you who haven't been here before, this is my show, Giant TV, and I'm constantly just focused on providing value, educating on tools, strategies, and tips that can help you in some ways you grow and nurture your business. Whether you're a solopreneur, a business coach, a Vistage chair, a bigger business, these tools are for you. And I'm just insanely focused on helping others. And this is another piece I want to get out there in LinkedIn publishing. And so what I want to talk about is the what, why, and how to do LinkedIn publishing. Okay, first of all, what is it? Now, some of you may be familiar with it. It's interesting because LinkedIn has had LinkedIn articles around. It's gone through different iterations, and publishing is a fairly recent update where now you can have a newsletter that people subscribe to. And this didn't exist before on the platform. And so it's your weekly newsletter. It can be, a monthly newsletter, but it is your published piece of content that's going out. It shows up in the news feed. So when you publish this, it shows up in the news feed. You can customize it, and it's only one at a time, meaning you can only have one newsletter at a time. You can't have like 10 newsletters. So you want to put a lot of thought into your newsletter. I'm going to talk about all of that. And you can publish it from your personal site or from the LinkedIn page. Maybe you're running a company page or whatever you have going on with pages, you can publish from there. Now, I always like publishing from my personal site because for me, the personal brand is the seedling that grows all the other marketing, and people want to do business with other people. So I always like pushing out content from the personal site. I think it's the best practice. All right, so you get the idea of what this is your newsletter. Now let me get into some detail here of why you want to do this. And I'm going to share my screen on my LinkedIn site and show you this tool in a few minutes. But here's why you want to do the LinkedIn publishing. First of all, is when I'm working with people, helping them to build out their practice or their business, you just want to show up, be different, and be the squeaky wheel that gets the grease. And you want to have your touch point ecosystem where you are engaging and front and center to the people that you want to be noticed by at all times. And so all the channels that you can plug in to do this are going to help you. And so with the publishing platform, it's another channel that LinkedIn is focused on big time in order to get in front of the right people. So this is where it pulls people into your touch point ecosystem. And it also allows you to build authority, as you're standing out from the competition, especially if you're a business coach, as I mentioned, a Vistage chair, there's so much competition going on today, and you want to be seen as the expert in your niche. And so publishing articles, having your newsletter positions you as the authority, and people start to recognize you as an expert, and you get more eyeballs on your stuff. So you really want to focus on that aspect of your practice, and this is a tool to help you get it done. What's very interesting is LinkedIn articles are searchable on the search engines, Google, for example. So you can find it there, as opposed to posts that show up in your news feed are not searchable on on the search engines. And so the more content you can get out there on LinkedIn that's searchable, like these articles and events too. I think LinkedIn events are searchable, but these articles are searchable, so it's great. It just gives you another opportunity to extend your reach to people that are interested in the topic that you're talking about. Also, we know the power of LinkedIn. There's at this point 800 million people or so on the platform. There's 100 million senior level executives on LinkedIn. And so the people you want to talk to, they're on the platform and they're doing things. They're on there to network. They also want to be seen. And so the audience is there, and you can, if you use the right tools, you can reach your audience and get this type of content in front of the right eyeballs instead of just putting content out there and nobody really seeing it. So we know the audience is there. What's also great is that mentioning here the long form content is it's the only place on LinkedIn to have long form content. Right? You have limitations for posting, but not with LinkedIn articles. You got a lot of space there, and so you can really get in depth and really teach. So it's another reason to really embrace this platform for the long form content. Also, when you start creating your newsletter, the first time you create it and publish it, then LinkedIn sends out an alert to your connections to subscribe. And I recently got publisher. I put out hundreds and hundreds of articles, but I finally got publisher in the last 3 weeks, and that's why I'm so fired up about it. And the minute I put out my first newsletter, I just within minutes had over 1,000 subscribers, and it's continuing to grow. So I now have another channel where I know I'm reaching people, and I'll show you where to find the stats on the articles you put out. But so the alerts that go out to your network are great. Plus, as you look at beyond first level there, what I mean by that is that LinkedIn also will send your articles out beyond your first level connections. And so you can have even a greater reach to your second level connections, and based on the fact that you're writing good content and it's relevant and you're speaking to your audience of people you're connected to, and people who are interested in your topic can find your articles. So these would be your second level connections. So for all these reasons, it's great to have this platform up and running. How? Okay, so you can publish from your personal site, and I mentioned your a page too, and I'll share my screen and show you how to do it. What you want to do when you're thinking about your newsletter is you want to customize it and really put some thought into who is your audience, who do you want to work with and network with, and what are the topics that they care about, challenges, opportunities. And your piece can be an opinion piece, it can be advice, you're teaching others, whatever you want. And the only limit to how creative you can be is the limit of your imagination. You can do anything with your newsletter. And I'll show you where you customize it here in a minute with photos and headline, and even the title of your newsletter is important, because you've probably been invited to a newsletter, and as a sales and marketing focused guy, I always want to attract people to any content I put out there and get eyeballs on it and create a hook. And so I see so many times there's a newsletter, and I have no idea what the newsletter is about in the title. And it would and you get that quick look when someone invites you, you see them, their photo, and then there's the title of the newsletter. If someone told me this is exactly what the newsletter is about and I'm interested in it, I would then take the step to go check it out. But there's just these nebulous titles on these newsletters, and it's hard to figure out what they're about unless you click in, and it's requiring me to have no idea what it's about and then to spend more time. So just my preference. So you want to customize it, and you want to niche down. So the more nichey you can get, the better chance you're going to have of growing your base. So by that I mean, know your audience. And that's true when you're on LinkedIn. You got to know your audience, whether you're doing lead generation campaigns on LinkedIn, networking, reaching out, whatever you're doing, and wherever you're doing it, off the platform, email, whatever the case is, you got to know your audience inside and out, and then craft your content specifically with your audience in mind. Put yourself in the shoes of your audience. What are they thinking about? And that's the content you want to create. And so the more niche you can get with your newsletter, assuming you've already focused on building up the right people on the platform, then you're going to be speaking to them and they're going to be interested in what you're saying and subscribe to your newsletter, and you'll stay front and center. And yeah, you also want to promote it. So when you have this newsletter, what's really cool about it is now you have an opportunity to promote it, and you can promote it with a unique post. You can tag people. A lot of ways to do it. If you're shooting video, which you should be, it's one of my 5 foundational components of building a business is the video marketing. You could, in a video, mention your newsletter and promote it that way. So there's a lot of unique ways to think about promotion of it, and you can share links to it and all that. And then you want to repurpose it. So you want to syndicate every piece of content you're doing on different channels, and your article here is no different. Is where else is this showing up? Is it getting on your website? Is it getting in a blog? Is it showing up on Facebook? So you want to syndicate this thing, and when you do that, also, again, you're getting a better chance of showing up in Google searches and getting in front of eyeballs wherever you're syndicating your content. So repurposing is very, very important. So let me now share my screen here with LinkedIn. I want to actually get into this thing and show you. Okay. Share screen. Boom, boom, and boom. Boom. Okay. So now this is my LinkedIn site. Okay. So here's where you can write the article. You're on your home page here. You see this tab here, write an article. So you're going to click that. Now this is where it shows you your options of where to publish it from. Personal site, I've got some pages on here, so I'm going to do it from my personal site. And now you come here. So what you want to focus on here is you can see up in the right-hand corner, this is the title of my my newsletter, Free Tools to Grow Your Biz. You've got some character limitations there, but people read that, they know exactly what it is. And so you can publish there. You can create an individual article separate from your newsletter also, but I keep it there. And then couple things here. First of all, you always want to have a cover image here. You would obviously never want to leave this blank, and tie this into your article. Spend some time on the cover image. You can use Canva. We use Canva for a lot of things and create great banners and images there, but we tie it in to the newsletter. And so the idea here is your banner, make it eye-popping, make the colors pop, tell a story on the banner. Just really put some thought into the banner. Think of it as like when you're driving down the freeway, billboards. There's a lot of money and time and science that goes into those billboards and getting you to look at them. And so no different from banners, your LinkedIn profile banner, your article banners, your email banners. Put time and effort in the banners. But this is where you write your newsletter. Down here, you could add images and video, and I'll show you an example of one I put out recently. And if you're going to write it a best practice is to write it off the platform, like in a Google document, a Word, whatever, and then copy it over here, because there's some limitations with LinkedIn Editor. And if you really want to focus on that, you can write it off of the editor and put it in here. And then let me see over here. Okay, yeah, so this is my menu. So this is the editor, and this is where, when you're done, you hit publish and it goes out. So now if I go back here, you click on my network and you go over here, you look at newsletters, okay? So I've subscribed to some. Here's mine here. So this was in the first few minutes I put this out there. Over 1,000 subscribers. It's growing. I'm going to start to promote it now. I haven't gotten into that quite yet. But here's where you can see your newsletters. And you have a little section about what your newsletter is about. People can check that out. But this is how I do newsletters. And the way we do it for clients is video marketing is huge. It's one of the 5 foundational components of growing a business is video marketing. So you got to incorporate video. If you're not even in the game. And it's clients and prospects are demanding video to learn about your product or service. So you got to deliver that. So as we're shooting a video, clients shooting a video, the video's repurposed into this this newsletter. So this is a video I did, and we created our banner here, have a good title on here, and then what we do is we have a summary, short summary, and I focus on the video. So I have these short videos, some are a little bit longer, but I just repurpose my videos everywhere. So we put this in here, got the call to action in here, and this is how it shows up. And got a few reactions at the bottom as we're starting to put this out. And what's interesting is if you click on view stats, this is where you can really see. So this I'm starting to get some traction here. Article views, got some good eyeballs on it, which is phenomenal. So now I'm reaching more people this way, and it tells me who actually is looking at my article. Now you can't do this across whole newsletter. It'd be great to get newsletter stats for just your newsletter as one piece, but it does it by each individual newsletter. It's just the way it is. But you can see here, it's showing me, who's checking out my article, and I'm getting good views on it. So this is how we repurpose content into an article, and it's going out. And so now we're doing this weekly, and this is where you can see everything. And so what I will say here is that go over here. What I want to tell you about is focus on LinkedIn publishing. You might not have it. Not everybody has it, but you will get it soon if you don't have it. They're rolling it out to everybody. And the way you find out if you have it is go click on write an article, and you'll see it up there, publishing, and create a newsletter. If that's there, you obviously got it. If it's not, you don't have it yet, and just wait, you'll get it. What I did want to show you is that I've mentioned the 5 foundational tools to grow your business, and if you text that GIANTHELP to that number, so text GIANTHELP to that number, you can see what my deep dive is all about on the 5 foundational tools. It's elevated brand is number 1, your personal brand. It's the seedling that grows the rest of your marketing. You've got to have that elevated personal brand. Without it, you're riding the bench. So you got to have that. Then there's selling and marketing. Those are 2 and 3. We all got to sell and market. Selling is the short game, which is asking people to do something. Attend your event, get on a phone call with you, certainly buy your product or service. That's selling, number 2. And those are lead generation campaigns, that's messaging, that's outreach. You have to do that. And that's got to be an identifiable and repeatable process. The marketing is video. Embed video into your process. This isn't about becoming a Hollywood movie star, but using video to differentiate yourself and to get your content out there and to tell stories and teach and educate. And video's the long game. Selling's the short game, video's the long game. Marketing, see me, see me, see me. That's got to be consistent over time. And then number 4 is your email vlog, blog, and this is huge. You got to have a process for collecting email and then getting it out into your vlog, and it's true for all of us, because most people that come into our pipeline are going to be long-term leads. We're not going to convert them in the short term. That's the vast majority for the best marketing people on the planet. So you got to nurture. Email is great to do that. Email, blog, understand that. And the last 5th piece you got to have is virtual events. Everybody's online. LinkedIn has huge focus on LinkedIn events, LinkedIn Live. Got to get that. Those are free, and you have to get that up and running. And these are the 5 components. And if you text Giant Help to that number, you can see my deep dive on those. And where publishing fits in is the content. So as you're shooting the video for the long game of marketing and repurposing that video, one of the pieces it's repurposed into is a LinkedIn article, your newsletter. And so that's the way to think about LinkedIn publishing. And as always, stay tuned here for this show every Tuesday, 9 a.m. California time. Going to keep delivering value. And if you ever have any questions, please reach out to me. Happy to jump on a call with you, listen to what you have going on with your business, what's working, what's not working. Love those discussions, and I'll give you my insight. And that's always a good time. All right, we'll see you next time.